Welcome back to Trial to Triumph. My original topic for this week was going to concern the outdoors and equipment and ideas that can help you enjoy the outdoors as we continue this opening process. Even have what I hope is the last of my Corona cuts here as I try to safeguard myself as best as possible. However, after witnessing the social discord and manifestations of the social inequality that have precipitated events over the preceding week or so, I feel as though something needs to be said. And I invite you to watch this video a number of times. Not because I make any money from it, because I don't. Not because I'm sponsored, because I'm not. But I have taught political science and political philosophy for a number of years. And political philosophy is all about looking at society from the balcony, so to speak, from the top down, and asking, how can we move forward? How can we progress as a society? This whole series is about trial to triumph, moving forward. But I'm going to be honest, I feel as though we've walked backwards. And that's even harder in a time when we're dealing with the Corona pandemic, and we really need to come together as a society. Benjamin Franklin was asked shortly after the Constitutional Convention, what do we have? What are we? What exists here, this United States? And he says, we have a republic, if we can keep it. Republic comes from the Latin res publica, or the people's thing, a government, so-called society that exists to safeguard the people, to facilitate life of the people. Now, we are a people of about 370 million strong. We need to come together. But in order to do so, we need justice and equality for everyone. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I often teach excerpts of many of his writings in class. In his letter from a Birmingham city jail, he penned his famous quotation, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." We have a closed society insofar as things that happen, the West Coast can affect the East Coast and vice versa, and everywhere in between. We truly need to care for each other and make sure there's a society where everyone feels they have worth, they have value, they have rights. I've done a lot of work in the prison system, prison outreach work, and it's tough to see a state of incarceration, individuals incarcerated, many of whom I spoke to were incarcerated for life. But I'll tell you, even harder to witness, even harder to see, is a state that is incarcerated. Everyone needs to feel value, justice, and equality. Now, that's not just an opportunity, but once you have buy-in from everyone, once as best as possible, as practicable as possible, folks feel this sense of worth and they are valued, well, then comes the embracing of the other kind of equality, which is not just opportunity, but responsibility. We want to make society better. We want to continue to move forward. And quite frankly, we need everyone's support in order to do so. Right now, we absolutely need guidance and leadership from folks in positions of power on the local, on the state, on the federal levels, again, to get us to where we need to go. My mother was a first-year student at Kent State University in 1973, and she bought this very poster when she was a first-year student at Kent State. Now, you look up your history, you may recall that this year marked the 50th anniversary of May 4th, 1970, the Kent State massacre when 4 students were shot and killed by the National Guard. That was a break, that was a fracture in our fragile society. We do not want to go backwards. We want to continue to move forward. And if you read the bottom of this, speaking of leadership, Abraham Lincoln, often celebrated as one of the most important presidents. I'm a slow walker, but I never walk back. Let's make sure we continue to move forward.